ma'am. Good afternoon. My name is Judge Christy Ruppe. You are all here today for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested. As you appear before me today, you're considered not guilty of what you've been charged with. That status will remain with you through each stage of these proceedings up until changed by the state attorney's office if they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you were arrested on a new charge or a warrant. Either way, you were given a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pre-trial release which will be imposed upon you. You are entitled to have an attorney represent you at each stage of these proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire one, I will appoint the Public Defender's Office for you today. You're also entitled to make a phone call to let friends, family, or your counsel know where you are. If you have not had the opportunity to make that phone call, please let me know. Make sure you get that phone call today. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be held against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. At this time, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony before the court be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay, put your hands down. As I call your names, please come forward to the podium. Alicia Altman. Can I have your date of birth, please?
11/19.
All right, you are here today for a retail theft. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want the Public Defender's Office to represent you?
Yes.
I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office. State that you prepare a record.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I have an address for you on Greenbrier Village Circle in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
Probably like 7 months back.
Okay, where did you live before that?
Hillsborough.
Okay, do you have a job?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
Servant.
Okay. All right, I will go ahead and ROR you today, which means you're going to be released. But you need to come back to court for these charges on February 1st at 9 o'clock, okay? I've appointed the Public Defender's Office, so you're going to want to meet with them before you come back to court. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Stephanie Daltius. Can I have your date of birth?
12/84.
All right, you're here today for a scheme to defraud. The bond amount is currently $10,000. It looks like it's out of Pinellas County. So I found probable cause for your arrest. We're going to keep that at $10,000. Pinellas County is going to come get you. They will probably do that in the next couple days. If for some reason they don't, then the folks at the jail will bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what the holdup is, okay? When you get to Pinellas County, you can ask for a court date and a lawyer to represent you when you get there, okay? All right. Shannon Hooper. Every date of birth?
8/22/79.
You are here today because you have something going out of Kentucky. It looks like you have some pending charges there, and they may want to extradite you and get you over there. So you have two options today. The first option is that you can request an extradition hearing. If you do that, then we will hold you in custody in our jail for 60 days while we get that hearing scheduled. And at that hearing, someone from the state of Kentucky will have to show that they have a valid warrant for your arrest and that you are the correct subject of that warrant. If they prove those two things, then they will take you into their custody at this time. Your second option is that you can give Kentucky 15 days to decide whether they're going to come and get you. And do you want to do that now? Do you want to put Kentucky on the clock right now?
Yes, I would like to put them on clock.
Okay, we're going to put them on the clock and give them 15 days. We'll waive extradition and sign that paperwork there in front of you. All right. Kenita Langley.
Yes.
Can I have your date of birth?
12/1970.
All right. Are you currently living on Kenny Court in Winter Garden?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You have a job these days?
No, ma'am. I'm in the process of getting disability.
When was the last time you worked?
2012.
Okay. Do you know why you're here?
For the child support.
Yeah. So have you had any contact with child support enforcement?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, this is what happens when you don't have contact with them and let them know what's going on in your world and whether you're making any income. You are in arrears for child support of almost $5,000 as of last month. Can you come up with any money in order to get out of jail today?
No, I cannot.
What is your current phone number?
321 287 4994.
Okay. I'll find today that you don't have the ability to pay. We're going to go ahead and release you without payment of any purge. But you need to keep in mind that we're going to keep going through this process until you get in touch with them and work something out with them, okay?
Okay, excuse me. That was the purpose of me. Whenever I had the first court date with y'all to make a payment plan or something.
Okay, I don't know anything about that. I only have the writ of bodily attachment today. That's all I have. So you need to get in touch with them and figure out what's going on, okay? Okay?
I only received one letter from these people. So,
I don't even know what you're asking me right now. But you're done. You're being released.
all right.
All right.
Okay.
Hannah Minzer. Can I have your date of birth?
March 16th, 95.
Okay, you were here today for DUI with property damage, an enhanced DUI with a blow of .224 and .218, and leaving the scene of accident with damage. The bonds on each of those is $1,000. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want the public defender's office to represent you?
Yeah.
Did you say yes? Okay. I'll appoint the public defender's office. State, is she a prior record?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Where do you have your driver's license out of?
It's with my boyfriend.
I'm sorry?
It's with my boyfriend.
What state are you licensed to drive out of?
New Jersey.
When did you last live in New Jersey?
June?
Okay, so you've been down here for like 7 months?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you living?
Holbrook, off Mariner and Spring Hill. Well, yeah, near Mariner on Spring Hill Drive.
All right, well, we don't have an address for you. You're going to need to provide the jail with an appropriate address before you're able to leave jail, okay? I'll go ahead and I'll set the bonds at $500 each. And we're going to see you back to court on February 1st at 9 o'clock in the morning. So you can bond out as long as you can get that money together and provide the jail with an appropriate address, an accurate address. Okay? Jennifer Young. Can I have your date of birth?
December 4th, 1973.
Okay, you're here today for domestic battery. I found probable cause for your arrest. Did you want the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll appoint the public defender's office. State.
I'm showing a dropped 2017 DV battery out of Hillsborough County, another dropped battery, and that was in 2017. In 2006, another dropped DV battery out of Tampa, and adjudication withheld in 96 for a theft.
Ma'am, I have an address here in Chamber Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
About 5 months.
Okay. Where did you live before that?
Tampa?
Okay. Do you have a job?
No.
All right. All right, I need to order that you have no contact with Thomas Perez, okay? Don't have any contact with him whatsoever. Do not call, do not write, do not email, do not have anyone else call him, write him, or email him. If you see him out, you should turn around and go the other way. Any way that you can imagine having contact with him, I forbid you from doing so. If he calls you, you should hang up the phone. If you have any contact with Mr. Perez while this case is pending, you could be charged with another crime and held without bond. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I need to hold you until 4 o'clock today, pursuant to statute, and in case he needs to file an injunction against you. And I'll set your bond at $1,000, and we'll see you back in court February 1st at 9 a.m., okay?
Okay.
Okay. Stephen Bernetter? Date of birth?
03/26/97.
You were here today for a violation of pretrial release. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want the public defender's office?
Please.
Do you have the public defender's office already representing you in your case in front of Judge Merritt?
No, I have Hogan Law.
Do you have the Hogan Law Firm?
Yeah.
No, they didn't. Okay. All right, but you still want the PD on this case? All right, I'm going to the public defender's office. Because there's probable cause to believe that you committed another crime while you have this case in front of Judge Merritt pending, I'm going to revoke your bond on that case on 2018 CF 2123. You'll be recommitted and you'll be held in custody until you resolve that case. There's also no contact. You have no contact with the victim, okay? And I'm going to set your bond on this case at $5,000. I'm going to see you back to court on February 1st at 9 a.m. Devin Cartwright? And Mr. Cartwright, can I have your date of birth?
10/13/74.
Alrighty. You are here today for a failure to appear in front of Judge Merritt on a throwing a deadly missile on criminal mischief.
I didn't fail to appear, ma'am.
Okay. I found probable cause for your arrest.
Ma'am, my public defender, Joshua Alexander, told me I didn't have to show up to court for the deposition on the 28th. He told me this on the 3rd.
Okay. Well, as far as I know, sir, a court order has more weight than what Josh Alexander says. My understanding. Okay, so you need to do what the court order says, and there was a court order requiring you to appear in court on December 28th. So Judge Merritt wants you held on a bond of $15,000 and $5,000, and he's going to set your court date for January 22nd at 1:15. So we'll keep the bond the same. We'll see you back January 22nd at 1:15, and we'll make sure the public defender is still on your case, okay? Someone will be out with you soon.
Public defender is how I got in here.
Okay, I understand that. Do you want me not to appoint the public defender? Do you want me?
No, I'm asking for help. I need somebody to contact the public defender.
Okay, well, that's why I'm appointing them to your case. Once they're appointed in your case, then they will come out to see you. So they're on your case, okay? You also have this resisting an officer without violence. The bond amount on that is $1,000. I found probable cause for your arrest on that as well. We'll keep the bond at $1,000. We'll see you back February 1st at 9 a.m. on that one, and I'll also appoint the public defender on that case, okay? Daniel Daly? Mr. Daly, can I have your date of birth?
4/3/88.
Okay, you are here today for a child abuse charge. I found probable cause for your arrest, and it's based on a warrant signed by Judge Hitzman on October 31st. Would you like me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
I'll appoint the public defender's office. State.
I'm showing a false ID given to a law enforcement officer from December 21st, 2018 out of Polk County with no disposition. A driving with license suspended, 2 prior convictions, 2017 disposition guilty. Dropped battery out of Lakeland in 2017. Failed to return leased property, 2016 disposition guilty. Driving with license suspended, habitual offender, 2016 disposition guilty. Where state prison was put disposition guilty for a false ID given to Leo in 2016 out of Polk County. driving with looks like driving with license suspended in 2011, disposition guilty for failure to return leased property in 2011, prison time of 101 year and 15 days. Disposition guilty in 2007 for resist without violence out of Polk County.
All right, sir, I have an address for you. It's actually in Georgia. Do you have a local address?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
2322 Christmas Wrong Circle.
What is it? What's the name of the street?
Christmas Wrong.
Mr. Grove. Is that in Brooksville?
Lakeland, Florida.
That's in Lakeland. How long have you lived there?
It was my mother's lives there in Madison, but it's 6 years.
Okay. Do you have a job?
No, ma'am.
Is there a DCF case?
Ma'am?
Is there a DCF case?
I guess, I don't know.
I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim in this case because he's a juvenile and only 8 years old. I'm only going to use the initials NH, so you have no contact with him whatsoever. You're going to have a bond of $20,000. We're going to see you back to court February 1st at 8:30 in the morning. Mark Elliott. Can I have your date of birth?
1975.
Okay. You are here today for a failure to appear in front of Judge Toner on January 2nd.
I was in custody, man.
Okay. All right, you have a new case of 2019 CF1. So what's going to happen is on this case in front of Judge Toner, the 2018-1782, you're going to be held without bond on that case. And that's because there's probable cause to believe that you've committed another crime while you're out on bond on that case.
You already sealed me yesterday.
Okay. All right, perfect.
So does this failure to appear go away being as I was in custody already?
Well, it doesn't go, you're not being charged with failure to appear. You still have the original charge of battery by a detained person. So that is not going away. But you're going to appear in front of Judge Toner. Do we have a court date yet for the 2019 one or no?
I did not see one.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
It's in appeals right now. It's in their 50 CA without court. I'm going to trial on it, actually. So
On
that case is...
on the brand new case?
On the brand new case? No, ma'am.
Okay, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay. So there's no court date for that one yet. So we're just going to stick with the February 1st date for this. So we'll see you back to court on February 1st at 8:30.
Actually, you gave me a January 16th court date for the new case.
Oh,
Yesterday,
for the brand new one, the 2019
Yes, ma'am.
one. You have what court date?
You gave me a January 16th date for
Okay,
that.
then why don't we do that with this one too? So January 16th for both cases, okay? All right. Jared Davis?
So I have no bond on that?
Correct, not at this time. Can I have your date of birth?
10/25/77.
All right, you are here today for resisting a merchant, resisting an officer without violence, and retail theft. The bond amounts of $2,000 each. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want the public defender's office?
Yes.
I'll play the public defender's office. State.
I'm showing a larceny 2017 where a grand theft state prison was placed. Grand theft 2016, disposition guilty out of Brevard County. Controlled substance without prescription 2014, disposition guilty, another state prison sentence of a year. And that was out of Brevard County. In 2012, give, serve, alcohol under 21, disposition guilty. Possession of meth, 2010, disposition guilty, as well as a charge of DUI, third, within 10 years. Out of Hernando County, disposition guilty for a driving with license suspended in 2009. A DUI 2008, disposition guilty. Driving with license suspended 2008, disposition guilty, as well as a grand theft 2008, disposition guilty. Possession of oxycodone 2003, disposition guilty, out of Pasco County. Breach of peace 2002, disposition guilty, as well as an intent threat to do violence in 2003, disposition guilty, and the trespass and disposition guilty, all out of Hernando County in 2001. Trespass after warning 97, adjudication withheld, out of Hernando County. A petty theft 95, disposition guilty, as well as a burglary and a grand theft and another burglary charged, all disposition guilty, and 95 out of Hernando.
Okay. It sounds like this retail theft is probably going to not be a misdemeanor. Oh, no, it is not a misdemeanor. Okay. Okay, where are you living these days, Mr. Davis?
Transient.
Okay.
I stay around Hernando.
Okay, okay. Are you
This
gonna
spring hill.
Okay, we're going to set your bond at $10,000 each, and we're going to see you back on February 1st at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Why would the petty theft become a grand theft?
It doesn't become a grand theft, but it becomes a felony based on your prior record.
Why is that?
Pursuant to statute, says if you have one or more priors, retail theft, then you are no longer a misdemeanor court. You have now graduated to felony court. Okay? Juan Gonzalez.
Is there any way I can handle this today?
No, sir.
Judge, on the Elliott, I didn't hear. Did you point us on that one?
I'll have the clerk look at it. Can I have Juan Gonzalez? Can I have your date of birth?
1973.
Okay. You were here today for a violation of an injunction and found probable cause for your arrest. Did you want the public defender's office?
Yes, I do.
I'll point the public defender's office. State prior record.
A driving with license suspended out of Hernando County in 2000 with no disposition. Resisting a law enforcement officer with violence 94, disposition guilty out of Hernando County.
Okay. All right, I have an address here on Broad Street, in Starricktown. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
Since 1989.
Okay, do you have a job?
Working with a gentleman doing construction work.
Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and set your bond at $1,000. I need to order no contact again. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we will set your bond at $1,000. I've appointed the public defender's office, and we'll see you back to court on February 1st, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Brian Greer. Can I have your date of birth?
10/17/87.
Okay. Mr. Greer, you missed court yesterday for your
Yeah, I was late.
I know, I just told you that. For your charge of possession of marijuana. Do you want to just go ahead and take care of that case today?
Sure.
All right, I believe it was do you have that today, Ben? I think it was a standard probation case.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't have it in front of me today. I didn't, but based on his history, it looks to be appropriate to do a withhold of adjudication, 6 months probation, a drug awareness class, 20 community service hours.
All right, Mr. Gray, you want to take care of it today, right? You're just going to have to go on probation. You're going to have to report to probation by Monday at 3 o'clock. You cool with that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you understand by taking a plea on this case today that you're giving up your right to go to trial?
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand you're giving up right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up right to have the state prove the case against you. Do you want to give up all those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with regard to this possession of marijuana charge, 2018-3654-MM, how do you plead a complete no contest?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. I'll give you a withhold of adjudication. I'm going to place you on 6 months probation. As a condition of probation, you need to pay your fines and court costs, which are going to be about $553. And you need to do 25 hours of community service, or you can buy that at $10 an hour, and you need to do a drug awareness course, okay? You do all of those things, and then you can automatically early terminate from probation. When are you going to probation?
Before Monday.
Before Monday at what time?
Before 9 a.m. I assume.
Okay. That'll work. Thank you. Spencer Higgins? Have your date of birth?
196.
You are here today. First, you have a retail theft. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll place the public defender's office. We also have a violation of probation. Violation of probation is based on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt on December 28th. So I found probable cause for your arrest on that. I'll also place the public defender's office for you there. With regard to the violation of probation, Judge Merritt wants no bond on that. We're going to hold you no bond and see you back to court on January 22nd at 1:15 in the afternoon. Someone from the public defender's office will be out to talk to you about that soon. With regard to the retail theft, I'll set your bond at $1,000, and we'll see you back to court on February 1st at 9 a.m. And someone from the PD's office will talk to you about that case too, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Justin Merchant. Can I have your date of birth?
March 4th, 1987.
All right. You are here today for a retail theft. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You want the public defender's office to represent you. You also have an open case in front of Judge Hickman, 2018 CT 3873. What we're going to do with that, I did have the opportunity to check with Judge Hickman. He wants you recommitted on that case. We're going to hold you in custody until you appear in front of him on January 10th at 9 a.m. for both of these cases, okay? So for this new case, I'll go ahead and keep the bond at $500. But for the 2018 CT 3873, you're going to be held without bond, okay? We'll split both cases for January 10th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Hickman. And do you have the public defender on your other case?
I don't know. They're really good in trouble.
Okay. Well, you have them on this case, so they'll talk to you about that before the 10th, okay? All right. Adam Riepert.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening. What is your date of birth?
November 23rd, 1988.
Okay. You are here today for a violation of probation. It's based on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt, so I did find probable cause for your arrest. Judge Merritt wants you to pay a cash bond of $590 for each count, which is $1,180. It looks to be like a restitution issue going on there. So what's going to happen is you have the keys to the jail right now. If you pay that bond amount, you can walk out of jail and be done. If you're unable to pay, you've got to tell Judge Merritt why on January 22nd at 1:15. Okay? Do you want the public defense?
Is there a way I can lower it to like $500 and pay the rest before I go to court?
It's Judge Merritt's order. I'm not going to change it. You can talk to your public defender about that if you want.
Okay.
Okay? You have a public defender already?
Not that I know of, ma'am.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office and you see what you can do, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right. Quentin Simmons? Can I have your date of birth?
Started 1991.
You are here today for a burglary of a conveyance, felony domestic battery by strangulation, and then a failure to appear a Judge Merritt case on December 26th. So, it looks like the burglary and the felony battery by strangulation. The date of offense on those, I believe, was last December 3rd. Okay. Then you have a pending case in front of Judge Merritt right now, 2018 CF 2443 for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, criminal mischief, and petty theft.
Did that all happen on the same day, man?
Yeah, I see the offense date on that was 12/3 as well. So it looks like to be all part of the same set of facts.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So has your bond already been revoked or forfeited for something else?
No, ma'am. I had bought it out on the first case you said. I had bought it out and then just came back and took me to jail again. What happened? I don't know.
Okay, so the pending case and this new case are all part of the same set of facts that happened on December 3rd, 2018. And when he FTA'd on December 26th, Judge Merritt gave him no bond on those. And the basis for that is because he had an outstanding warrant for the burglary of conveyance and battery, which is a warrant that came out of the same facts and circumstances. So it wasn't something after. I think there was probably some type of misunderstanding. So I do think he's entitled to bond on all of these cases. So for the on the cases that you have an FTA, I'm going to go ahead and set your bond at $10,000 on each of those. And then for the technically new cases, but they're part of the other case, those are going to be $15 each. And we're going to see you back to court on all of these cases, put them together on January 22nd, okay? At 1:15.
Excuse me, do I have a bond?
Yes, that's what we just did. Your total bond is $60,000. I'm sorry?
I can't hear you, ma'am.
All right, your total bond is $60,000. All right. Mark 2. Can I have your date of birth?
1/13/69.
All right, you are here today for a violation of probation based on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt on December 19th. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll appoint the public defender's office. Judge Merritt wants you held no bond until you get back in front of him. We're going to keep you held no bond, and we'll see you back to court on January 22nd at 1:15, okay?
Okay, ma'am, these drivers of probation is stem around where my probation was supposed to be extended when it was reinstated 30 days ago, which they did not do. I did not actually violate. I didn't hear Altima. Is there any way we can get this court date moved up any sooner?
I did move it up, actually. It was going to be set for February 1st, and I moved it up to January 22nd. But there's several reasons why they're saying that you violated. Some of it has to do with not paying your cost of supervision and not paying your restitution payments. So
Yeah, I just paid.
quite a few things. But you do need to talk. You need to talk to your public defender about that as soon as possible. Okay, see what you can work out.
All right, thank you.
All right. Did I miss someone on the docket? There's someone else. Did we have? You have a change of plea? What is it?
Hicks, Ricky Hicks.
Okay, is there Ricky Hicks? Is that it? Give me that case number one more time. I'm sorry.
3475.
3475. Okay. Are you Mr. Hicks?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What are we doing with Mr. Hicks?
Mr. Hicks had a felony with his misdemeanor. He's resolved his felony. He's got probation. What did he get? Was it reinstated for what, 3 years probation?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Is there no negotiated disposition today, or what?
Is that it? Did you want to reinstate it or
I don't have it.
time served?
Time to.
You put it on without having anything worked out?
No, I didn't put it on, Judge. Mr. Bauer put it on.
Mr. Bauer didn't have anything worked out?
And I'm,
All right,
I
so
think we did the time served.
what's the time then?
Yes. I don't get it.
Let's see, it looks like he was arrested were you arrested October 25th? Does that sound right?
No.
For this misdemeanor case. When were you arrested for the misdemeanor case? Can you hear me?
October 24th. It's November.
Okay. October 24th. And I'm not showing that he bonded out at any time, so we have 31, 4. Looks like 42 days. Good with that? All right, you want to take care of your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you understand that by taking a plea on this case today, you're giving up a right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up a right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your own behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. Do you want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with regard to 2018 3475 MM, is that the right case number?
Correct. Yes.
All right, good. This charge of violation of domestic violence injunction, how do you plead? Complete no contest.
Guilty.
Accept your plea of guilty. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 42 days in the Hernando County Jail. Give you credit for the 42 days that you have in. You will have fines and court costs of $553. The public defender fee, and you said he just worked out a felony case. Is that right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so I assume the cost of incarceration was ordered in that case, and we won't order that here.
Yes.
All right, very good. Thank you. Did we get everyone at jail?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.